you are thinking about upgrading your gaming PC or build a new one, you'll probably be hit with the same question that's on everyone's mind right now. Should you wait for the RTX 50 Super graphic cards, or is now the perfect time to buy? It's a question that's not just about the space and performance, but about timing, value, and making the most of your hard-earned money. In this video, I am going to break down everything you need to know from the latest rumors and reached real-world pricing, performance expectations, and the psychology of waiting versus buying. By the end, you will have a clear, expect-better answer to help you make the smartest decision for your next GPU purchase. Let's start with the elephant in the room. The rumors will be absolutely buzzing with the talk of NVIDIA upcoming RTX 50 Super refresh. Every week there are a new leak, a new benchmark, or a new insider claiming to know exactly what's coming. But if you are probably following the GPU market for any length of time, you know the rumors are just that. They can be exciting, but they can also be misleading, and sometimes they are being designed to manipulate the market. So, before we get swept up in the hype, let's ground ourselves in what we actually know. Right now, the RTX 50 series is finally widely available at or near MSRP after months of the frustrating shortage and inflated price. For the first time in a long time, you can actually walk into a store or go online and buy a 5070, 5070 Ti or even 5090 without having to pay a ridiculous markup. That's a huge shift from where we were just a few months ago, and it's already changing the way people think about upgrading. But with the super refresh possibly just around the corner, a lot of buyers are stuck in limbo, wondering if they should pull the trigger now or hold out for something better. Here's where things get interesting. The psychology of waiting is powerful. We all want the best possible values, and nobody wants to feel like they missed out on the next big thing. But the truth is the GPU market is always in flux. There's always another launch on the horizon, always another rumors about a game-changing card that's just a few months away. If you are always waiting for the next release, you will never actually buy anything, and you will miss out on the month or even years of better gaming performance in the meantime. So, what do we actually know about the RTX 50 Super cards? According to the most credible leaks, NVIDIA is planning to release super variants of the 5070, 5070 Ti and 5080, much like they did with the 40 series. These cards are expected to offer more test performance improvement over their known super counterpart, mostly through higher clock speed, more enabled streaming processors, and perhaps most importantly, more VRAM. For example, the 5070 Super is rumored to jump from the 12GB to 18GB of VRAM, while the 5070 Ti Super and 5080 Super could see similar increases. But here's the catch. These are the mid-generation refresh, not next-generation leaps. If you are expecting a massive jump to performance, you are likely to be disappointed. Historically, NVIDIA supercards have offered anywhere from 5% to 15% better performance than the base model, with the biggest gains coming in memory-intensive workload or at higher resolutions. That's nice to have, but it's not the kind of upgrade that's going to transform your gaming experience overnight. Let's talk about pricing, because this is where things get really nuanced. Right now, we are seeing a rare movement of the stability in the GPU market. Prices have finally settled at or near MSRP, and in some region, you can even find cards below MSRP thanks to our supply and competitive pressure for AMD. This is a buyer market, and it's something we have not seen in the year. But as soon as supercards launch, all bets are off. New GPU almost never launch at MSRP, and initial demand is likely to drive price up, especially if supply is limited or if the cards are seen as must-have upgrades. This is where contrast framing comes into play. On one hand, you have been conventions of the buying now, stable price, wide availability, and the ability to start enjoy better performance immediately. On the other hand, you have the uncertainty of the waiting, the possibility of the slightly better space, but also the risk of the higher price, limited stock, and amount of the additional waiting. It's a classic case of the bird in the hand is worth two in the bushes. Of course, there are the exceptions. If you are specially targeting a 5080 and you know you need more VRAM for the workflow, maybe you are content creators or you play games that are especially memory hungry when waiting for the super refresh might make sense. But for the vast majority of the gamers, the incremental improvement are not likely to justify the waiting, especially when you are factor the opportunity cost of not upgrading now. Let's not forget about the competitions. AMD is also in the mix, and their latest cards are the more competitive than ever, both in terms of the price and performance. In some cases, you can get an AMD card with a similar space for the less money, and with the current pricing environment, it's worth considering all of your options. And one of the good news for the consumer, the days of NVIDIA having a strange hold on the high-end market are over. So, what's the bottom line? If you're being waiting for GPU prices to normalize, your patience has finally paid off. The good news is the market is stable, the cards are available, and you have more choice than ever before. The super refresh will bring some improvement, but they are not likely to be revolutionary. If you need a new GPU now, there is no reason or to wait unless you have a very specific use case that will benefit from the extra VRAM, or you just love having the absolute latest hardware. But let's dig even deeper. What's about the timing of the super launch? Was too much point to be released before the end of the year, possibly time to coincide with the holidays shopping seasons. That means if you decided to wait, you will be looking at several more months of the uncertainty, during which time price could fluctuate, supply could tight, and you could miss out on the some of the best deal of the year. Remember what happened the last Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Price drops, but stock disappear almost overnight, and a lot of the people were left empty hand and go to our home. That's the thing about the GPU market. Timing is everything, but it's also unpredictable. You might think you're being something by waiting for next big launch, but the reality is that the best deals often comes when you least expect them. Retailers are constantly adjust price based on supply, demand, and even rumors themselves. Sometimes just the hint of the new release is enough to trigger price drops on existing stock, or seller try to clear inventory before new cards arrive. But just and often, those some rumors can cause price to spike, or buyers rush to grab what's actually availability, fearing that supply will dry up or that price will shoot back up once the new card is hit with the shelf. Okay, let's look at the real world example and jump into the market. When the RTX 50 series supercards are the rumors, price on the standard 40 series card started at a deep to retailers anticipated avails of the new inventory. But as soon as the supercard actually launched, demand was higher, and the price are for the both are the new and old model shoot up at least temporarily. This pattern play out with the 30 series before that, and it's likely to happen again with the 50 series. What? Yes. If you're waiting for the fire sales on the current generation card, you might get lucky person, but you are just lucky to find yourself caught in a way or of a panic buying that leaves you paying more. Yes, much more, not less. This is where it paid to be strategic. If you see good deal on a card that meets your needs or don't overthinking it, the perfect time to buy is when you find the right cards at the right price for you. Chasing the absolutely lowest price or the absolutely largest space in the gaps for the endless waiting and second guessing. Remember, every month on spend waiting is the month you are not enjoying better frame rates, smoother gameplay, or faster rendering time. That's the value you cannot put a price on. Now let's talk about performance expectations. As we mentioned earlier, the RTX 50 supercards are expected to offer incremental improvement over the base model. That means you might see a 5 to 10% jump in frame rates, maybe a bit more in certain games or workflow that can take advantage of extra VRAM. But for more gamers, that's not going to be a night and day difference. If you are coming from a much older card, say a 20% series or even 10 series, the jump to a 50 series card, super or not, is going to be massive. But if you are already on a 50 series or even a high-end 30 series, the upgrade is going to feel a lot more fun and enjoy. This is where contrast framing really matters. The marketing around new GPU launch is always designed to make you feel like you need the latest and greatest, but the reality is different. Most gamers are still optimized for hardware that is several years old. Unless you are gaming at 4K with all the settings mixed, or you are doing heavy duty content creation, the difference between 5070 or 5070 Super is going to be hard to notice in real world use. That's not to be said improvement are not real, but they are not be as dramatic as the high world have you been playing. Let's consider the broader context. The GPU market is more competitive than ever, with AMD pushing hard to win our gamers and content creators alike. Their latest cards our excellent performance for the price, and in the same case, they even outperform with the offering in the specific workload. If you are open to switching brands, you might find that AMD cards you are better paying for your buck, especially if you are shopping in your mid-range or a budget segment. Yes, don't let brand loyalty blind you do better for deal. That's my opinion. Another factor to keep in mind is the pace of technology changes. Just new cards are always coming, but the rate of improvement has slowed compared to previous generation. We are no longer seeing the kind of the generational leaps that used to make older cards obsolete overnight. Instead, each new release brings smaller, more incremental gains. That's been due to investment in a current generation. Card is likely to hold its value longer, both in terms of performance and release price. If you're buying 4060 today, it's still going to be a great card a year from now, even after the super refresh stops. Of course, there are always edge cases. If you are a professional who relies on your GPU for the work, maybe you are a 3D artist, video editor, or machine learning researcher, then the extra VRAMs are slightly hard performance for the super cards may be worth waiting for. But for the average gamers, the difference is going to be much less significant. In fact, you might be better off spending the money you save by buying now on other upgrade like the faster SSD, more VRAM, or better monitor. Let's not forget about the emotional side of the equations. The fear of the missing out in the reals, and it's something that marketers and retailers are very good at exploiting. But the truth is, there are always going to be something new on the horizon. If you're always waiting for the next big things, you will never actually enjoy what you have. The best time to upgrade is when you are ready, not when the market tells you to be. So, what's the smart move? If you've seen a card that fits your needs and your budget, and that's available at a fair price, go for it. Don't let the hype around with the super refresh paralyze you. Take into action. The incremental gains are nice, but they are not worth months of waiting and instantly, especially when you could be enjoyed better performance right now. To wrap in this section, let's recap. The RTX 50 series cards are coming and they will bring some improvement, but they are not going to revolutionize the market. Price are stable, availability is good, and there are a great deal to be hard right now. If you need a new GPU, don't be afraid to buy now, and if you do decide to wait, do it for the right reasons, not just because of the FOMO or marketing hype. Now, before you making your final decision, let's talk about something that you just an improvement as space, price, or even performance. Making sure you don't miss out on the best advice, the latest update, and the smartest strategies for your next upgrade. Because here's the truth: no matter what you decide, the GPU market is going to keep moving, and the only way to stay ahead in the stay informed. That's why if you found this video helpful so far, you will want to stick around for what's coming next. Let's be honest, the world of the graphic card is more competitive, more confusing, and more fast-paced than ever before. Every week, every month, every year, a new leaks, a new rumors, or a new must-have feature that's promised to change everything. But the reality is, most of these headlines are designed to grab your attention, just not to give you fully packed pictures. That's why I am committed to cutting through the noise and giving you the real story. No hype, no nonsense, just the facts that expect and lies you need to make the best choice for your setups. Make sure to like this, subscribe this channel if you come the first time on my video. Okay, if you still on the fence about whether to wait for the RTX 50 supercards or buy now, here's what I recommended. Take a moment to look at your own needs. Are you struggling with the performance in your favorite games? Are you missing out the features that will actually make a difference in your day-by-day experience? Are you just feeling the pressures of all the marketing and social media buzz? Remember, the best upgrade is the one that solves your real problem, not just the one that looks good on paper. And if you want to make sure you never miss out of the latest deal, the smartest buying tips, and the most honest review, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. I am always tracking the latest trends, testing new hardware, and sharing my findings with you so you can match every dollar count. Plus, if you turn on net notifications, you will be first to know when the next big launch happens, when price drop, or even there's hidden games you need to know about. But I want to hear from you to what's your biggest question about the RTX 50 Super Series. Are you planning to wait, or are you ready to buy now? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. I read every single one, and your feedback helps shape the content I create. Maybe you are found a killer deals, or maybe you are holding out for that one feature you just cannot live without. Either your experience matter, and this community is all about helping each other make smarter choices. And if you are looking for even more in-depth analysis, check out the link in the description. I will put together a list of the best current GPU build, the most reliable source for up to the minutes, leaks, and my own personal recommendations for every budget. Whether you are hardcore gamers or creative professional or just something who want the best bang for bucks, there's something there for you. Finally, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to thumb up. It really helps more people to find this kind of honest, no BS content. And if you know someone who's stuck in the same, should I wait? Should I buy below? Share this video with them. The more informed we are all, the better decisions we can make. The same likely we are to fall for the hype. So should you wait for the RTX 50 super graphic cards? The answer are always depend on your needs, your timing, and your willingness to navigate the ever-changing world of PC hardware. But whatever you decide, you are not alone. This channel is here. All you every step of it with the latest news, the smartest advice, and a community tax allow code the protect. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one.